Yeah, what's up, guys? Miss Sweater here. Uh, kind of want to make a video. It'll probably be a little bit sad, but I want to talk about Reckful, aka Byron Bernstein, perhaps one of the most infamous WoW players of all time. Um, yeah, I know it's like super off topic and random because I'm like a PvE WoW healer, which is like the farthest thing from a WoW PvPer, especially like a rogue player. But I watched a lot of Reckful streams, a lot of like Soda Poppin streams, a lot of Mitch Jones streams, all the old guys. I watch a lot of Sea still, despite like almost never stepping in PvP arena, because those guys were to me what World of Warcraft really kind of was, you know. Um, and I don't know. I guess I could knock out the normal stuff right away. Um, obviously I'm still planning on playing Shadowlands. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I plan to break quite a few things, make a bunch of builds. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully we can find some more broken stuff like we always do. It'll be great. But I don't know. It's been a long time since I made a video, and I've just been chilling, enjoying life. I know that I'm going to be playing non-stop when Shadowlands comes out. And the changes on Alpha are really, really, really consistent and fast. And so it makes almost no point to talk about it other than just to like keep making videos for the sake of making videos. Which I mean, I works for a lot of people, and I guess that's how you have a successful YouTube channel. But I don't know. That's not really been my goal, I guess. Maybe I make more videos, but I feel like they would just be like subpar. Not that my videos are good anyways, but you get the point. Anyways, I will be making more videos. Maybe we'll do a couple more batches of videos on all the healers when there's like enough information I felt like it's worthy to talk about. So maybe like in a month we'll do a set of videos, and then I'll probably do all the videos again for all the healers right before the expansion drops. So, but if people really want some stuff, they want me to talk about things just randomly, I guess I can, but you guys would have to let me know. Anyways, on with what I want to talk about. And you don't have to watch this, obviously. It's just gonna be me ranting about how sad I am. But yeah, I feel like Reckful was sort of like a I don't know, like I mean he wasn't sort of, he was a legend in the WoW community and everywhere. And it's crazy, like I don't know too many players that could die and you would have World of Warcraft, Twitch, and League of Legends responding within like hours. Like, right? Isn't that kind of crazy? Like he just sort of went above and beyond and sort of transcended like all the mediums, you know? How many other people are like in that legendary status? There might be 10 maybe. Like I don't know. He was just insane. I feel like I'm not really getting my thoughts across here well, but I really liked him, and I liked that he was honest about his depression. And it sucks that that it hit, probably a perfect storm of things came together, right? I remember one thing that really turned my opinion about like sort of depression around was listening to him talk about how his dad wrote a book about it. And I mean, I can't really do his story justice, but I think his dad was a police officer and had seen the worst humanity had to offer, and had always had depression, and essentially like every day was a struggle not to kill himself. And the only reason he wasn't killing himself was that for his sons, and his family. And then I think Byron's brother killed himself, and that almost hit his dad over the edge. And so I worry about his family now. Especially his dad, but it's clear that the entire family had a genetic disposition towards being depressed, right? And I'm not quite sure. Like, it's really hard for the rest of the world to grasp with that. Just like, hey, just these people, just randomly for no reason, want to kill themselves. Like, what do you do? And I think that a lot of people's natural responses will just tough it up, and that I actually think that's an okay response for a lot of people sometimes. A lot of people where the issues aren't necessarily genetic, that's actually a fairly okay response, but you'll never know which ones the like where the problem comes from, right? You can't really look. You just spend a lot of time judging, right? So I know friends that are depressed, but that's because their life's shit. But in Reckful's case, he was depressed, and for the most part, things are going okay, you know? So that sucks. It's like being raped, you know? Like what could he do? You know, if it really was just against his will, like imagine your life being happy, you trying as hard as you can to be happy, and then just not being happy because some chemical in your brain just said no, you're not allowed to be happy, or you want to kill yourself. Like that's insane to me. And so I know in the future we'll probably be able to fix this. I really do believe that with how crazy technology is going, but I don't know. People are blaming Twitter and live stream fails and Twitch and everything. Yeah, I mean it's fair to blame, I think, but I think it was a combination of everything. But to keep things WoW related, I want to talk about Blizzard and what I think Blizzard should do personally. Everybody wants like a statue and an NPC, and I think that would be kind of cool, but personally, I think the thing that would actually just be the most memorable would just be to unban his account. Like, I mean, it always seemed like the dumbest thing to me that they never unbanned it. And I guess in some ways it's respectable because at least they kept to their set of rules, right? But with all the inconsistencies, it's not like it's an honorable thing that they kept, you know, because they haven't done the best job like, you know, with a lot of these things, with all the bots and stuff that's happening in the game right now. So I think just unban his account. He's got his, like, you know, it doesn't actually cause anything. It's not like, you know, he's gonna come back from the fucking dead and play his character, you know. But I think it's the thought that counts, and you know, it would have literally no impact and it's pointless. But unban his account. You know, they wrote a personal message and I wanted to hate it, but I couldn't because it was nice. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard, right? They have rules, and I guess he broke those rules. But personally, it was the easiest free PR of their life. Like, Blizzard has done so many shitty things just to get good PR, and it's backfired in their face. Like, we know they're willing to do almost anything. This was the easiest PR of their life. Honestly, like, they would have gotten the most free points if they had just unbanned his ass and let him play. I mean, he's like one of the most iconic WoW players of all time. Was he really that bad? No. I know so many shitty like people who have cheated or used bots, and they're terrible human beings, right? And I forgot what he even did. Wasn't it like account sharing or something, or he was doing like boosting? I don't even know. All I know is if he was doing something, it was probably like using his skill to do it, right? It wasn't like AFKing or something or botting. I don't know. But the way Reckful would approach learning how to play a character is like the way I like to learn how to approach it. And it's just like he would just memorize like all the numbers and stuff. And I remember when he came back to he played for just a little bit, but he came back to BFA, and within no time at all he had like memorized and mastered all the abilities to the rogue, memorized all the damage, and was like coming up with like builds and was very high rated. And I thought that was really interesting. And I remember him talking about in theory crafting like Azurite gear and stuff. And I was just like, man, minds like his are so rare. Like, you know, he kind of made me feel bad because of how fast he was picking up things. And I was just thinking like, thank God there's not more people like Reckful that I have to compete against in like the healing community, because I would never do good at all. I know it's such a selfish thought to think, but I can't help but be competitive and also insecure at the same time. You know, it's like, you know, in being good in WoW PvE, it's like all I have. I'm not good at anything else in the real world, you know? So, I don't even know if I'm going to release this video. It's kind of pathetic, but yeah, the Reckful thing hit me really hard. Just by the sense of like, it sucks because I really genuinely felt like humanity tried like a lot of the best people tried their hardest to save him, and just a few, maybe, I don't know, trolls and a bad brain, and that was it. You know, it feels like there's like no hope sometimes, you know? Because like I know that for every mean comment Reckful got, he got at least like 25 nice ones. But you know, when you're depressed, you can only see the mean comments. So there's all kinds of like calls to action and stuff, but personally, I think a lot of the calls to actions are more so like about canceling free speech, which I'm not a fan of. When I think it should be more about like bringing awareness to the fact that suicide rates have just gone up through the roof, and social media is kind of like to blame, honestly. People were never designed to read other people's opinions 24/7. And I think Asmongold put it the best when he said that when you read comments, it's not like the person saying it to you. You're reading it in your own head, in your own voice. So it's like you're telling yourself that. So if you read some kind of really bad negative shit, you yourself read it. And I've been very fortunate on this channel, and as small of a channel it is, but very fortunate that all the comments have been overwhelmingly positive, like to such a ridiculous degree. I think maybe there may have been one negative comment per like 5 videos I ever put out, and I kept waiting for the shitty comments to come in, because all my older videos are just trashed with bad comments, you know. So I kind of have a harder time dealing with all the nice ones, to be honest. I feel like each one requires me to respond, honestly, because I look at it as a rare thing, you know. But you know, I would not be invincible either. But I also don't have a history of depression in my family, so you know. And also I think I'm fairly emotionally dead. I don't know. I mean, I guess that sounds really fucked up, but you know, I've just within like the last like couple of years, I lost my mom, my sister, and my best friend. So, you know, shit happens. I mean, you go on. It sounds so callous, but I think that there's just different people. So there's gonna be people like me where this doesn't really mean much. Or like, sorry, let me rephrase that. There's people like me where negative comments maybe won't hurt them as bad, right? But there's people that you love and respect that will be absolutely destroyed when something bad happens. And they could also be the strongest people in other situations. You just don't know. And it's hard parsing what's where the depression comes from, and if it's like if you can actually affect it, right? I generally don't believe that a regular day-to-day person or even his friends and family could have changed his depression because it was a chemical imbalance, right? Or something in his brain. Maybe there was medication, maybe there wasn't. Maybe more time spent talking to a therapist could have fixed it, maybe it couldn't. But I'm genuinely a pessimist when it comes to depression that's genetic or born with, right? And what can you do? So, but I am a pick yourself up by the bootstraps kind of person when it comes to the day-to-day depression or the day-to-day shit that goes wrong, right? Because what else is the response when it comes to that? I think it's a fine line, really. I really do. I think it sounds like I'm splitting hairs, and it's because I probably am, but I think there's like so much nuance that you need with depression. There are people that need to hear, just grow a pair. Then there are people that need to hear the opposite, right? And it's so difficult to know just off a couple comments or a little bit of time watching somebody what to say, you know? I have a friend that has depression like Reckful's, and I never know what to say to the guy. I don't know what to say. It's unrelatable. I could not fathom it. There are times in my life that I can sympathize when I felt incredibly depressed, right? I just did an 8-day fast recently, and I felt amazing. But I've tried it before, and I was almost suicidal the third day in. right? So I was really happy that this time around the whole process went smoothly, and I actually felt better than I've ever felt before. I didn't suffer any of the symptoms that anything that people would normally expect. My fucking computer just fell asleep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not putting this video out. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Yeah, I'm not putting this video up.